Can you please give me a few moments of your time? I ask you to watch this the whole way through and then to share it in comment. I ask you please, so we can spread awareness about this. On Sunday afternoon, I was harassed by my home. People that were with me, my friends who did not choose this, and I will go into what it is that they didn't choose, were followed. Their car were kept track on, and they felt so uneasy, and I don't blame them. I am still shook to this day. It's been 2 days since this happened, and I am still shaking inside of what happened to me and to my friends. Here's the thing. I was born into and grew up in a religion that is very controlling. They control your every aspect of your life. They take everything away from you. They isolate you, making sure that you have no one from the outside. And in that way, they are controlling you with fear so that you won't leave the organization. Because if you leave the organization, you will be standing there completely alone without anything. They make sure that you don't get higher education, because higher education means critical thinking. They don't want that. They don't want you to think for yourself. So they frown very, very much upon higher education. This means that if someone is actually wanting or planning to take higher education, that person will be taken aside and scolded, and that person will be marked in the congregation as someone who is not spiritually strong, someone who we should not associate with, because they are choosing the world. In this organization, you are not allowed to have any contact with the opposite sex in an isolated environment. And what I mean by that is that you are not allowed to be alone with the opposite sex unless you are married to that person. You're definitely not allowed to have sexual intercourse outside of marriage. You are not allowed to date anyone outside of the religion. And what happened to me last week, I have heard a lot about this. I've never experienced it before, not to this extent. I was seen walking with a man into the supermarket doing grocery shopping. I was seen, which means they followed us. They followed this man's car back to my place, saw us take in everything we bought, and they kept track of his car and saw that it was still standing in its place the day after. They contacted me, not asking if I have the opportunity to meet them for a chat, no. They demanded, "We are coming to you at this hour tomorrow." I responded, "I'm not able to meet you, and please respect that I don't want this kind of meeting with you." I received no reply on that. On Sunday afternoon, after my friends left, I got a very hard knock on my door. And outside it stands two men from this congregation. They are, as we call them, elders, a sort of priests in the congregation. They went straight to the point, telling me that I have been seen with a man, and that man's car has been seen standing in its place the day after. Have you done anything that is inappropriate? Have this person stayed the night over? We want to make sure that you have not done anything bad. I am a 41-year-old woman, and I have these men standing outside my door, questioning me. They kept track of my friend's car. When my friend found out, he felt so uneasy, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. People don't understand that cults like these exist in the society we live in, and they are free to do whatever they want. People, when they meet this cult, people from this cult, which is Jehovah's Witnesses, they are seen as very friendly, kind and loving persons. But that's what they show until they have their hook on you and get you inside and make you baptized. And once you are baptized as a Jehovah's Witness, that's when everything really starts. My friend has no connection, no association, no nothing with this cult. I was born into it, I was raised into it, and I was expected to become one. So I became one when I was 14 years old. I was still a child. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I was so afraid of doing something else, and I was so brainwashed into thinking that this is the right way. This is, as they call it, the truth. And if you don't become one, you will die in the end of days, because they believe in Armageddon, that God will come and will extinguish every non-believer on this earth. Every person who is not a Jehovah's Witness will die in Armageddon. This is what they believe in. They don't preach it the first thing they say, no. My friend has no association with them, and yet they kept track of him, kept track of his car. I called the police yesterday because I was so shook by everything. I was so shook by what the interrogation they put me through on Sunday. And unfortunately, the police said that we can't do nothing because they didn't force themselves into your home. You chose this when you got baptized. The only thing we can do is, if they continue coming to your door, then we might, after 8-10 times, we might be able to do something about it. But at the moment, we're sorry, we can't do anything about it. So here I am, being kept track on. Wherever I go, I live in a small village. These people live around me. I can't even go into the supermarket without walking past them, walking past their houses. They look outside and they see me. They are harassing, controlling every aspect of my life. And I just got to now to a point where they are actually controlling someone else who is innocent in this. Please share this. This is what happens. Cults are not something to play with. Be very careful with what you take on and who you invite to your life.